So now we'll go to a problem where we have to predict what could be the cost. Okay, we have to predict what could be the cost. So the method is called as a high-low method. Okay, it's called as high-low method, and we'll see a problem here. Okay, so the total cost incurred at various output levels in a factory have been measured as follows. So output is this and total cost is this. They're asking you, required using the high-low method, analyze the total cost into fixed and variable components. Find the cost for 35 units of output. Okay, so he wants for 35 units of output. So what we have to do here? See, we have to apply a method called as high-low method. The first step is to identify the highest activity and the lowest activity. So the highest activity is not in the cost terms but in the activity terms. Okay, so 25 is the highest number of units produced, lowest number of units produced, and 55 is the highest number of units produced. Okay, number 2, so we'll take these steps and we'll work out, I think, one by one. Okay, okay, so the highest activity is 55 units and the lowest activity is 25 units. Okay, so up to there we got it. So let's check for the step 2. So step 2 is finding out the variable cost. So how do we find out the variable cost here? So we'll work it out. So the variable cost per unit has a formula. So the formula is this: variable cost per unit equals to cost at high activity. Okay, what's the cost at high activity? So the cost at high activity is 7850 less cost at low activity, so that is 5200. Okay, divided by units at high activity, so that is 55, and units at low activity, that is 25. So we got the numbers here. So from here what we are going to do, is we are going to compute it. Okay, so let's compute it. So let's get the answer. So the answer comes to 88.33 is per unit. This is the variable cost per unit. Okay, so that we got. See, the next step is to find out what is the fixed cost. Okay, the next step is to find out what's the fixed cost. How do you find out the fixed cost here? Okay, how do you find out the fixed cost? You take any range of number. Okay, for example, we'll take 55 units. Okay, and cost equals to 7850. We'll take that number. Any number, the first pair of number or last pair of number you have to take. Okay, either the 25 units or the 55 units you could take. I'll take 55. So total cost, okay, is equal to the fixed cost plus the variable cost per unit into units. Okay, that's the formula here. Now what's the total cost? Total cost here is 7850, which is equals to fixed cost. We don't know that, but what we know is variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit is 88.33 into how many units we are producing? 55. Close it, get the number. Now fixed cost is equal to, okay, fixed cost, okay, or else I think we'll copy the same step. We'll first solve this part. Okay, we'll solve this part. Let's get the answer. So this part of the answer comes to 4858. 4858. Done. Now what is the fixed cost? Fixed cost is going to be 7850 minus 4858. So let's get the answer. The answer is 2992. So the answer is 2992. Okay, so we got the fixed cost value. So the last step is find the cost for 35 units. Okay, how do we find out? We have the same formula, get the same formula, put it here, and we don't know what is the total cost. So fixed cost is 2992. Variable cost per unit is 88.33. And number of units is 35. Okay, we want to find out the cost for 35 units. So let's get the number. Okay, so the total cost for 35 units is 6083. So can we like find out whether our answer is like at least right in some manner? Yes, we can do it. Okay, this number, okay, this number is 35 units. So 35 units means the cost is between this 25 and 55. So the cost should not be, for 35 units, should not be lower than 5200, or the cost should not be higher than the 7850. Is the cost in between these two values? The answer is yes, 6083. Okay, so we don't need to find check in between these. Okay, we don't need to find, see 35 units is not coming here. Okay, that we don't need to find. Okay, that we don't need to find. What we need to find out is whether this number, okay, whether this number is between the 25 and 55. Okay, that is what we have to consider. Okay, so we don't need to check other numbers and all. So this number is right. So that's about this problem. It's a high-low method problem. So we'll work out the next problem. Here it is a high-low method with step fixed cost. Okay, so it says an organization has the following cost at 3 levels of activity. So these are the levels of activity: 3000, 4500, and 8000. And total cost is 40,800, 50,000, and 54,800. Variable cost per unit is constant within this activity range. So the variable cost is going to be the same number, and there is a step up of 15% in total fixed cost. So the total fixed cost alone is going up 15% when the activity level exceeds 5,800 units. Okay, so which is our relevant numbers? Okay, so that's what is our question. What is the total cost at an activity level of 5,000 units? Okay, what's the cost for 5,000 units? So what we'll do is we'll take the previous steps as they are, right? We'll just take the numbers, steps, and everything as they are, and we'll just copy it here so that we can finish it. Now the first question is the activity range. The first step is identifying the highest and the lowest. See, normally the highest activity is 8,000 and the lowest activity is 3,000, but here the total fixed cost goes up by exceeds 5800. Okay, so after 5800, any cost that comes here has an increase of fixed cost. So before that, before 5800, there are two items of costs here. Two items are here. These do not have the 15% increase. These do not have the 15% increase. Okay, so we cannot compare this and this. Sorry, we cannot compare 3000 8000 because 3000 is a normal fixed cost, but 8000 is a stepped up fixed cost of extra 15%. So it's very difficult to compare this and this. What we can compare is these two numbers now. Okay, so usually we have to compare the lowest with the highest, but as the highest number has some other additional complexity, we can't do that. We can compare 3000 and 4500. Okay, so our highest activity would be now 4500 and our lowest activity will be 3000. So let's work out the problem. So the cost at highest activity is 50,000 and the cost at the lowest activity is 40,800. And units is 4,500 minus 3,000. Okay. So let's get the variable cost per unit. So the variable cost per unit is 6.13. Okay. Let's get the fixed cost value. Okay. So you can take any value. So last time we took the high units. We will take this time as low units. Okay. However you do, you will get the same answer. So for 3000 units, it comes to 40,800. Fixed cost we don't know, and variable cost per unit is 6.133, and number of units that is being produced is 3000 units. Okay, so first we will try to solve this part of the answer. That comes to 18,399. Okay, so fixed cost would be 40,800 minus 18,399. Okay, when you solve, the answer that you get is you get 22,400. So our fixed cost is 22,400. So how do we find out the cost for 5,000 units? Okay, how do we find out the cost for 5,000 units? See, 5,000, the stepped fixed cost is not there. Okay, so we can take normally, like, what is the fixed cost? Fixed cost is 22,400 multiplied by 6.133 into units is 5,000, close the bracket. Okay, we'll get the answer. Okay, so the total cost comes to 53,065. Is this answer correct? Okay, to find out this answer is correct, see, this cost is little bit more than the 4500, right? 4500 units is that we are finding for 5000. So the cost that we have found out should go little bit more than the 4500 units. So it has to go more than 50,000. Okay, it has to go for more than 50,000. But see, when the activity level exceeds 5800, then our fixed cost goes up by 15%. Okay, as we are finding only for 5000 units, we are not bothered about it. But what happens when, what is the total cost for 6000 units? Okay, that we'll try to find out. Okay, what's the total cost for 6000 units? Okay, just one second. So that is a kind of a question. Now how do we solve this? So the step 1 is same, step 2 is same, step 3 alone, step 3 will also be same, the step 4 alone will change. Okay, let's get the step 4. So we'll put it here. So find the cost for 6000 units. Okay, so see, the variable cost will not change, okay, except for 6000 units we have to compute. The total fixed cost, if you take the fixed cost, it is 22,400. This 22,400 is up to 5,800 units. For every additional unit, okay, that you move, then you have to pay an increased fixed cost. Okay, so increased fixed cost you have to pay. So how much it is? It is 15%. So we'll put it as 1.15. Okay, 1 means like 100%. This is going to be 15% addition. Okay, your fixed cost will go up. Okay, so what would be the answer now? The answer would be, the answer is 62,558. Okay, for 6000 units. So 6000 units is between these two. Okay, these two. But I think just one second. Okay, so we have worked out it correctly. Okay, so question might be somewhere a little bit, this number might should have been like a little bit higher. Okay, so this, I think this should have been 64,800 or something. Okay, so that is something a little bit wrong there, but don't worry, because we have never taken this number as our consideration anywhere. Okay, we have not taken this number as a consideration anywhere. So what we have worked out is perfect and correct. Okay, so that's about the high-low method and for this problem. Okay, so this is a problem which is similar to how we worked out the last one. Okay, it's similar to that, but we will once again do it. So we'll start. An organization has the following total cost for at 3 levels of activity: 7,000, 11,000, and 14,000 units. This is the total cost, and variable cost per unit is constant within this activity range. Okay, so variable cost is same, and there is a step up of 12% in the total fixed cost when the activity level exceeds 11,000. Okay, so again, the relevant range is not this 14, it's not 7 and 14,000, it is 7 and 11 only. Okay, what is the total cost for an activity at 10,500 units in asking? Okay, so the total relevant units would be 11,000, because when it crosses 11,000, okay, the fixed cost is increasing, so we can't take that amount. So here lowest activity is 7,000 units. What is our variable cost per unit? Our variable cost per unit would be 2,40,000 minus 2,14,000 divided by 11,000 and 7,000. So the variable cost per unit is 6.5. So we will take any one number, okay, one pair of number to find out the fixed cost. So it is 7,000. At 7,000 it is 2,14,000. So let's get the answer. So the total cost is 2,14,000 and per unit cost is 6.5 and number of units is 7,000. So let's solve till this part. So it comes to 45,500. Okay. So the variable cost alone comes to 45,500 and our total cost has been 2,14,000. Okay. So let's get the fixed cost number. Fixed cost number would be 1,68,500. Okay, and let's find out the cost for 10,500 units. Okay, let's find out the cost for 10,500 units. Okay, so our total cost comes to 2,36,750 for 10,500 units. Okay, so 10,500 units falls between this range. Okay, so it comes to 2,36,000. So it comes very nearby to 11,000, but it is not crossing the 2,40,000 range. Okay, so the answer that we have worked out is perfectly correct. So let's go to the last problem. So the last problem is for output volumes. Okay, the following information relates to the manufacture of a product AB in 2008. Output are these numbers 200, 350, 500. And for output volumes above 380 units, the variable cost per unit falls by 10%. This applies to all units, not just the excess of 350. Okay, for all units it falls. So he's asking us find out the cost of producing 450 units. So we will again take the same steps and we'll work out. So here it is the variable cost changing. So it is a high-low method with variable cost changing. So let's work out this problem. So here, if you see, if we produce beyond 380 units, okay, the variable falls. So 8,400, sorry, 200 and 500 units cannot be compared. Okay, normally 200 and 500 has to be compared in high-low method. But here we can't compare them because if we produce more than 380, okay, the value falls. The value of variable cost falls. So we cannot have 500 here. So we can compare only 200 and 350. So our relevant units in this problem is only 200 and 500. Okay, I think Okay, I think we made a mistake. Sorry, just 1 second. So the highest activity among these two numbers is 350 and the lowest activity is 200. So we can start from here. So the variable cost, okay, the variable cost to find out the variable cost, again we have the same steps. So we'll start. The higher cost is 8,000. The lower cost is 7,200. Highest units is 350 and lowest units is 200. Okay, it comes to 5.33, and let's see, we can apply it to any of the units. So we'll apply it to 200 units, which has a cost of 7,200, and let's work out the total cost. 7,200 is the total cost. Fixed cost we don't know, and variable cost per unit is 5.33. So let's work out the variable cost element alone. That comes to 1066. Okay, so we'll solve this. We'll get the answer of fixed cost. So our fixed cost is 616134. Done. So we have to find out the cost for producing 450. Okay, see, when we produce 450 units, our cost will fall down by 10%. It will fall by 10%. Okay, so how do we work out? Our fixed cost is going to be the same. That is not the problem. So our fixed cost is 6134 and our variable cost is 5.3. Okay, but 5.3 is not going to remain the same. It is going to fall. Okay, so it will fall by 10%. So we can put it as 0.9. Okay, so it's like 90%. We are representing it as 0.9, and the total number of units that we are going to produce is for 450 units. Okay, it's for 450 units. So let's get the answer till that. Okay, it comes to the total cost for producing 450 units is 8,292. So let's check. See, our answer comes very close. Okay, so if we produce 450 units, it is between 350 and 450, and the cost should be between 8,000 and 8,400. So this comes to 8,292. So our answer is like perfectly correct. So that's about the behavior of cost behavior here. Okay, hope you have understood how it works. Fixed cost remains fixed and variable cost keeps changing with the number of units. Okay, so ensure that you understand the fixed cost, variable cost, stepped fixed cost, and semi variable. Okay, so That's about the cost classification, okay, problems.